With over 400 celebrity interviews and tons of pop culture nerdiness, Too Opinionated is a safe haven for your inner geek. Find us at meistercon.com or on YouTube under MeisterCon Pod. And please subscribe. It would really help us out. Thanks, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. So excited today. I've got Fabiana Udenio with me. So welcome, Fabiana.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
I just finished FUBAR. You're really good in that.
Well, thank you. Good writing. It all starts on the page.
There's some truth to that. And it is very, like, the dialogue in the show is really good, especially between the characters.
Yes, we all have to thank Nick Santora, who's the showrunner, the creator of the show, who we owe everything to.
Yeah. So it looks like from the setup, I don't want to give too much away in case anybody hadn't watched it, but it looked like at the end they're definitely setting up a possibility for season 2, and I'm guessing that now you're kind of joining the team.
Well, we have a season 2 that has been announced. That is confirmed, and so we're extremely excited to take these characters and expand on them. You saw, we don't want to give too much away, anything could happen. It's such a great setup for really, you name it. And again, the writing, Nick Santora has a way of surprising and creating these characters that will surprise you, and things will be unexpected. So I'm ready for anything. I'm in the meantime, I've trained myself to go to a shooting range and handle guns just in case. I want to be ready. I want to be yes.
Well, and it doesn't look like Arnold has lost a step.
God, yes. He's well, this is quintessential Arnold. The action, the comedy. No, he's forever legendary.
Yeah, I mean, you expect the action and all of that with him, but it always surprises me just how funny he is. I mean, his expressions and the comments he makes, he's really funny.
Yes, and I think he has those off camera as well. That part of it, it's really him. Those little zingers, that irreverent fun, like sort of banter he brings, and they had it all. I mean, with me a little less, because the nature of our scenes is different, but between them, the team, it was constant, and you can't win with him. I mean, he's got that last one that is a checkmate, and everybody laughs, and it really makes it for a really fun shoot, not just for the actors, but the whole crew had a lot of fun. So we really felt like we were part of something special, and we were excited to do our best, bring forward the best work that you can possibly do with excitement.
Yeah, well, it was an excellent cast, and you fit right in with them. We were so excited when we saw that you were going to be on the show, because me and my friends growing up through the 80s, you were like in every other movie. If the movie had school in the title, you were in it.
Well, you think? No.
Well, you had summer school, you had boarding school. There was a couple at least.
Oh, boarding school. That was earlier, right? You're right. We forget.
But the 80s just happened a couple years ago, right?
Right. Yes. Summer school is what stands out in my mind, in my memory, but you're right. Yes. So I was a very studious young actress.
Yeah, we always loved it when you showed up. And like in summer school, I'm pretty sure Mark Harmon went straight, to his NCIS show. And he's been doing it for like 40 years now, it seems like.
Has it been on it for that long? Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe a few years later, they started with NCIS. You're right. My goodness, it was 86, 87 when we did summer school. He was already, he had been considered the sexiest man alive, and he had done that great Ted Bundy movie of the week. So he was already proven to be a good actor. And in summer school, he got a great chance to to be such a lovable, comedy and everything with Carl Reiner, everybody. That was another great experience very early on. That was my first Hollywood movie. And I just moved to Los Angeles from New York, and it was such a great experience to have with Carl Reiner being sort of a father figure for us all, and sort of spoiled me because the atmosphere was so friendly and cuddly, and that it's not always that way. They're not always that, comfortable in every
right. Yeah, when you find somebody that is, it's pretty nice.
Yes. Yeah.
When I remember summer school, because that was a date night movie. So my high school girlfriend and I went to, and she was only going for Mark Harmon. I didn't let her know that,
that you were going to
that's
get
not
something.
why I was going, but that's why she went.
Right. Yes. What a heartthrob he was, and he still is a great looking man, and also like a gentleman. I mean, I remember him being really, really like a nice person.
I've always heard that about him. I've had a few people on that have worked with him, and that's what they say, that he just kind of goes above and beyond with being nice.
Yes, I still remember one occasion. I was trying to make a phone call. There were payphones. We didn't have cell phones, and with the cards and the coins. I was somewhat new in the country, so I was having a little trouble. So he went, "Oh, don't worry about it." He came in and punching the code. When you had the cards with the numbers, and he did it all for me. He said, "Go ahead, I'll do it." And so that was, oh, thank you, like a true caring, a class act. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty great. So I want to mention a couple that maybe don't get brought up enough with you, but you had a guest stint on Babylon 5. That was one of my favorite shows. I absolutely love that. I'm kind of nerdy, you can see. And then you also guest starred on the Magnificent Seven TV show. Magnificent Seven was one of my favorite Westerns. So when the show came out, I was so excited.
Well, you brought up two of my favorites. I have to say, Magnificent Seven, the cast there, all these guys, so good, and the character is such spunk and it was so lively. And I had just done Awesome Powers, and it was such a different character for me that I was so happy. Oh, great! See, it's not typecasting. Like different completely. She was Latin, but and the writing on that, I really loved it. And then, my character would have kept going. They got, canceled after that. Was season 2, right?
Yeah, it was season 2, and it was way too soon for it to be canceled.
Way too soon. I don't know. Remember, with the networks, you never know. But they had a strong following, and a lot of people complained. But at the time, who knows? But and Babylon 5, sort of a few different things. First of all, it was very romantic character.
Yes.
And I am a romantic, and so that's one of the reasons why I love Luke and Tally so much, because theirs is a true love, and then they go through everything, and it's messed up, and maybe forever, maybe not, but they had something, they had a connection that was there, true love, and for him, it's still going on after 15 years of divorce. So, and in Babylon 5, it was like this, and also I loved the feeling of the bald cap, being no hair, because it just gives you a sort of stylized, I'm always used the hair and the thing, and right. And there you're I don't know, you're
gotta be careful, you might just go with it.
Right, I didn't, coincidentally, how does it feel? Was it a choice or yours?
Well, so in the 80s, I had like the epic 80s hair. I hated it because it took so long to style. And I think at some point my hair just went, all right, you're not going to respect us, we're out. So as soon as it started receding, I just shaved it. So much easier.
Looks good.
Well, I appreciate that. I was hoping Babylon 5 might give me a call, but nothing. Of course, they're rebooting that. That's coming back out.
That's true. Mm-hmm. A lot of things from back then. Like they have a new Mad About You. No, Mad About You was not really a reboot, but they have.
Mad About You was such a good show, and you were terrific on that.
Yeah. Again, good cast, right? Talk about good cast there. So it's nice to have a lot of things to remember when you have a long career. It's nice to have it.
It's when I looked at it, I was joking about that earlier. It really does seem like it was just yesterday, and it's been 30 years.
Don't say it that way.
I know.
In my heart.
I know. I still feel like that 80s kid, and I'm a granddad now.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. So, yes. I think that's one of the secrets of staying happy and healthy is to take one day at a time, not to think about the globality of your age, just to focus on. It gets a little hard when you see your like high school, when they have the high school reunion, and so it goes, gosh. But to me, it's like mind-boggling when you have that number every year go up. It's like, how is it possible? So that's good.
It always like it makes me feel old when I see my high school buddies, because I don't notice it as much with myself that I've aged until I see that they've aged, and then I start looking at myself. I'm like, oh yeah, it's been a while.
It's very true. Yeah. It's very true. But then, at least in my case, and I'm going back to Rome soon, so I will meet them again. So they will have a big celebration for me and hear all the dish about Fubar and whatever I can come up for them. But the spirit of that we had, it's still there. So after you get over whatever changes, then the spark of who we were back then comes back out. And that's a gift to be able to see, to be able to experience that with them.
Yeah. It totally is. So I'd be remiss. My wife said to make sure that I mentioned Jane the Virgin, because that was one she watched and she loved you on that show. She said you were on there for several episodes.
Jane the Virgin, again, great thing to happen after sort of a lull in my career for different various reasons. And that was a great character. And Jenny Erman, the way she writes the show, you never know what's going to happen. So when I initially was hired to be Raphael's mom, I didn't know at all I was going to be the crime lord and with this terrible back. So of course she was controversial. She had given up. She wasn't exactly the good mother. She had taken money and disappeared and abandoned him. And so there was a possibility of me coming back, but I didn't know. And then when she called and said, this is what we got, sort of like last minute, like 2 weeks before, this is what we have, the arc we have planned for you. I was like, oh my God. And nobody knows anything. They're going to discover, because she hands the scripts at the script read through, so nobody knows what's going to happen. So everybody's like discovering it the day before or at the script read through. So that was kind of a kick to do that, and didn't give me much time to research the crime lords, but I did go into all the El Chapo female versions, and that was kind of interesting to play like that switch, into this
it's kind of fun
psychopath. Fortunately, I got killed.
Well, that's what happens if you go a little psycho. That can happen.
Yes.
No, that's terrific. And you appeared in so many shows growing up. My oldest was a big Zoe 101 fan. And I always play that game with the kids. What have you seen this person on? And that's the one she knew you from. She's like, Zoe.
Oh, so she thinks I'm French. I was playing a French teacher, right? Yeah, I was playing something. I was doing French on that one. So yeah, I like doing the French thing with English. I like putting on the French accent. For some reason, the French accent is fun to play around with for me,
It's a very beautiful sounding language.
Yes, and it stands out, and it's some colors that are very specific to the French language, and some, depending on whether they're stronger or not, you have a range on and it's fun, you
speak several languages, is that right?
Yes, well, I've gone to I was born in Argentina, so Spanish was my first language. Then of course Italian. My parents were Italian, and then I started being fascinated by English pretty early on, and I wanted to focus on that because of my love of acting. So then I was good in languages, and then I studied acting in English even before high school. And then I picked a high school called a lycée, whatever the equivalent of, a little bit somewhere between high school and college, of specialized in languages. So there was English and French, and also German, that I studied for 5 years. And you know, I was trying to eavesdrop when Arnold was speaking German with his Austrian friends, but I think I've lost all the German, much to the.
I've always heard that German is actually easier to pick up than some other languages, but in practice, I've never been able to do that.
Well, for an English born speaker, probably German is easier than Spanish, that a Latin language would be for you. For me, I don't know, I forgot it all.
Yeah, well, yeah, if you don't use it, it's
Sorry?
going to disappear. That's for sure.
You don't use it.
Yeah, you have to. We did that. My wife spent a month in China years ago, and before she went, she was trying to learn to speak Mandarin. Well, she played that, on tape all the time, and the whole family ended up learning a little bit. So at that time we could speak a little bit of it, but then, but now it's been 15 years and none of us can speak any of it because we haven't used it.
Yes, exactly. So that's what happened with the German. And if you read it, I don't know if you can even read Mandarin, I don't know. But with the German, if I read it, and if I read it, I remember what I have learned, because but you lose it. But so the 4, English, Spanish, French, and Italian, they've stayed with me because I kept practicing them, and the French a little less, but the Spanish, Italian, and English, of course. Here I get to practice the Spanish a lot, and for work. French, my French is good. When I'm with French people, I'd rather not, because they're so critical of.
When they talk fast too, which is hard to keep up with.
Yeah, well, everybody talks fast in their.
That's right.
Not native language, but yeah, for a non-native speaker. But the French are very particular. If you don't speak the language, whether it's Italians, if you just try it, they'll go, "Hey, yes, okay, come on."
For you.
But yeah, good for you. Spanish, they love when you just even attempt to speak Spanish. But the French, if you don't do it right, they're like, "Oh, what do you?" So they kind of like look down on you. So okay, forget it. I'm not gonna even try it.
Yeah, that'd be intimidating. If you got negative responses, I'd be like, all right, I'm done.
Yes.
Not gonna do that.
So they correct you too much. Come on, let me get warmed up. I mean, and then...
That's right. Let me get going. Well, Fabiana, thank you so much. This has been terrific. I know we got to wrap up. A couple quick things though before we do. Anything else that you're working on outside of FUBAR that we can keep an eye out for?
Well, there is a strike. So a lot of
if you could make some calls and get that to finish pretty soon, we'd appreciate it.
Yes, we need to give those writers a good
take care of them. You can't have anything without them.
Yes, so hopefully, fingers crossed for the negotiations to come to fruition and give them not just the really, really successful ones, but the ones that make a living as writer, give them the possibility to keep making a living and not writing not have it be a second job or like a temporary job. So hopefully, and what else? Well, I'm going to Italy, so there is some stuff going on there. A couple of movies that I am considering because there is no strike over there. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you might as well work a little bit while you go on vacation.
Yeah, right. Yes, hang out with my mom a little longer, bring my son, and get some work there. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's terrific. Okay, so last thing before we go, where can we find you on social media?
It's my name, so Instagram and Facebook. It's Fabiana Udenio.
Yeah, it comes up pretty easy. I'm pretty sure you're the only one out there.
with the Udenio. Well, there's got a blue thing. So look for the blue thing on the Instagram,
Okay.
you know, at Fabiana Udenio. I haven't seen any other
Now, it's not
impersonators.
like Michael Wall where there's like 150 of us.
Oh, no. I think Arnold said it. If it's hard to pronounce, no, if it's hard to remember, it's going to be hard to forget. And he was talking about
He's
his
right.
name.
Yeah,
So
he's
hopefully,
exactly right.
my name is hard. So hopefully I'll follow along, you know, that trend.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Fabiana, thank you so much. This has been just a real honor to get to talk to you for a few minutes. Been a fan of yours most of my life, actually. So.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, thank you. And thank you for reminding me of all of the wonderful experiences that I've been the honor of having throughout my career, which is a privilege. And I really, really appreciate it. So thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Okay, hold on one second. Guys, that was awesome. I enjoyed that a lot. I've been a fan of Fabiana's for most of my life. It's been, you know, in the 80s, we were going to see her in movies so much. In the 90s, too. I mean, obviously, Austin Powers in the 90s was hilarious, and we all loved that one. Wanted to hit because we were kind of on a time crunch, so I want to hit some of the shows and movies that I have seen and enjoyed her in. You know, I mentioned summer school. I mentioned boarding school. I was a big Natasha Kinski fan from Cat People, and boarding school, I believe, came out before Cat People, but that was a fun one. Enjoyed that. We did mention Hard Body. She was in the second one of that. The 80s had all of those kind of summer sexy movies that would come out every year, and Hard Bodies was a franchise that kind of took advantage of that. She was in that. She did the sunblock commercial in RoboCop 2. She was in Bride of Reanimator. I mentioned Babylon 5, Mad About You. She had a stint on NYPD Blue that I loved. She was in a Christmas movie we didn't get to talk about. Normally I bring those up, but she did Cloudy with a Chance of Christmas. She had a couple episodes as Eva on Quantum Leap. She even did One Life to Live, the soap, for a little while. But here's some of the shows: Full House, Cheers. Cheers, back in the 80s, my favorite show, period. So Cheers, 90210, CSI Miami, Zoe 101. We mentioned Suddenly Susan, Wings. She played Pia on the show Amazon. We mentioned Magnificent Seven. And then she was the Empress on Mortal Kombat Conquest. So I hope you enjoyed that. She's terrific. It's so great that she's still acting and just looks the same as she has for the last 20 years. Just terrific. So absolutely love that. If you are finding us for the first time, which is this is a good one to find us on, and you enjoyed it, we can definitely use your support, and it's easy to do. It's free. If you prefer to watch, our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. All we ask is that you hit subscribe. That's it. We would really appreciate that. Helps us out a ton. If you listen or prefer to listen, just wherever you listen to your podcast at, whatever application you're using, just subscribe there. That'll help us as well. Today, we released episode 606. Really proud of that. We've been doing this for about 4.5 years. Typically, we put out 4 or 5 episodes a week. So we're pretty active. I guarantee that you will find tons of people that you're fans of, or tons of people that you'll become fans of, not just in acting, but also musicians, authors, all of that. You can find all 606 and counting episodes, audio and video, on our website, meistercon.com. So please check us out there. It'll let you know if we're doing anything in studio, if we're going on location, if we're covering a convention, anything we have going on, it'll be on the website, meistercon.com. So please check us out there. Thank you guys so much. Until next time. Bye, everybody.